Okay, so we're going to do today restorative yoga. We had pretty tough yoga last time. So per the schedule, the third Sunday of the month and the last Sunday of the month, we take it easy. So what I want to do today is go through holding the poses. This is probably the most essential part of the yoga, to be honest. And um, what it does, it actually holds the pose in a position where this becomes more of a mental exercise than physical. Of course, it's physical, but it is mind over matter. So we're going to stay in the poses. There will be some pain, but make sure you don't get any kind of excruciating pains, and make sure that if you do get any excruciating pains, then get out of the pose. Okay, we don't want any injuries. um, and and we just want to focus on in the moment and
Scanning of the body, going back and forth throughout. So we'll probably be holding poses to about 3 to 4 minutes. Um, you'll probably need a belt. It's always good to have a belt and a couple of blocks. You don't know when you will need them. And because I don't plan my class at all, whatever comes in the moment, it happens. So always keep these props with you and we'll go from there. Okay. So the first position we're going to do is going to be forward bending, but against the wall. Okay. So the wall is going to be a prop that is going to help us. So what the wall does, it aligns the body against the wall. The wall allows you to sort of be in that pose. It supports it, the gravitational force, against the wall. So the wall is pretty honest prop that never moves. Okay, so let's get the belt and let's go up to this wall right here. So I'm going to tilt this a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. And let me turn some lights on. There you go. Okay. I think I'm going to use a block today. So put the block down there and put your feet on it. So the ball of the foot is on the block, and put the second foot on the block as well. So that your heel is on the ground. And if you need the belt, we can always use the belt, but I don't think right now I'm planning on using the belt. So what I'm trying to do now is I'm leaning fully against the wall and I'm going to go down and stay there. So you bend your knees and you will see that your quads are going to be active. So you will see some tightness in the quads and stay against the wall. You can close your eyes. And you'll start noticing that you'll get an essential tremor in your quads in the first few seconds. And if you want to use the second block also, that's also fine, to kind of spread your feet a little bit. If this is uncomfortable, push it out a little bit and put your ball of the foot and then go down. And we are going to go a little bit deeper into the position and we're going to stay there. So this is the Utkatasana. You push against the wall, the quads are engaged, the kneecaps. You don't want to go anything beyond that point. So that means that your patella, you don't want to go beyond. So keep your feet at 90 degree or lower on the other side. And I don't think we're going to stay here for 4 minutes, so don't worry about it. This is just a starting of the exercise. So we'll stay here. This is actually wonderful exercise for strengthening your kneecaps, I mean the muscles around your kneecaps. So as we age, these are the muscles that actually start giving up. And then we start having knee problems. So put your hand here and hold your quads very tight right there. And see if you want to support. And gently start coming up. Use walk on the wall and stay here for a second. So don't completely come up yet. So stay right there for a few seconds. And then completely straighten out. Okay. Still keep your ball of your foot on the yoga block right there, so that you're getting this reverse flexion like this. So what this is going to do is going to flex your hamstrings and your calf muscles right here by doing that. Okay, so let's just stay here for a second, and then raise your hands up against the wall. Stretch yourself against the wall, and you will see that your back is getting stretched, your hamstrings are a little bit getting stretched, but not as much as we would like it to be. And clasp your hands, put your index finger out, and stretch up the wall. And then start bending forward. So you're using your wall as a support, and you're going down into Samakonasana. So this is the Samakonasana. That means my body and my legs are at 90 degrees. Okay, so you're right here. Keep bending down. Now put your hands on your shin bone and support yourself and look up. Look up. So the beauty of doing these poses and holding them, the system of yoga actually requires you to hold the poses to up to 2 minutes, each pose, to get the maximum benefit at the physiological level out of the pose. Because what it does, it actually starts the fresh blood is gushing into the location wherever you feel the stretch at the most. All of that, the toxins are being expelled out from your from your muscles and from your cells and all of that. It takes time for all of this to happen, and that's the time we're trying to give to the body. So I reckon that, after you're done with this yoga or any yoga, for instance, you want to drink a lot of water afterwards, because then all those toxins gets thrown out, through the urination. So, so what we're doing now, so I'm going to bend a little bit more, see if I can bend a little bit more, and get your sits bones going in that direction at the upper level. So you can hold and move your sit bones upwards so you get a little bit more extension in your hamstrings. And see if you want to grab your toes and look up. And breathe normally here. Now, normal breathing means do not try to regulate your breath in any way. If the breath goes faster, let it be faster. If it is slower, let it be slower. Just don't manipulate it. That's what normal breathing means. It can be the normal breathing as though you're watching TV. So, no, it's not going to happen. So, that normalcy is shifting as you strain your body more and more. Do not manipulate that breath. If it is deep, it is deep. If it is shallow, it is shallow. But just observe that breath from within. Let's not try to regulate anything here. We're not doing pranayam right now. So let's just hold it, hold it, hold it. And what's going to happen is over time, the hamstrings are going to get heated up. You'll start feeling heat wherever there is, but make sure that there is no acute pain anywhere in your low back or anything like that. If you get any kind of acute pain, just back off for a minute and then go back in again, and then back off and then go back in again. All right. So let's hold your toes. If you want to use your belt, you can wrap the belt here like this and then hold it. Those who cannot hold your toes, okay, and hold it like that and pull it upwards. So you're pulling it, pulling it, pulling it. But this should be that pulling action is a very gentle way of trying to work with the body. It's not trying to conquer the body. It's not about that at all. This is not muscle building where you're really pumping iron here. No, we want to be patient with the body. That patience is what's going to give you the results that you want. Because if you are trying to overcome the body and push it hard, it's going to bounce back. Okay? It's going to make your muscles really sore the next day. So just work with the body, just listen to it, see what it wants in the moment, just pay attention. And that's what it is. It's not about going to a gym and putting this music on and just trying to pump. Not at all. Yoga is probably the complete reverse of what that is. So here we are with the physical and the mental reality of the existence. The physical reality is talking about a little bit of pain, a little bit of stress, a little bit of heart rate going up, a little bit of your breathing rate going up. That is your physical reality right there. The mind, of course, your conscious mind is trying to do this. It is exerting something here, but the subconscious mind in the back, which is the most powerful part of the mind, is reacting to what we're doing. Observe all that. That reactionary behavior is probably trying to tell you, I don't think I like this. I want to get out of this pose. I want to I want to have some fun or just be in the normal position. And that's your subconscious mind trying to get this reactionary behavior. So observe all that reactionary behavior of the mind dispassionately. Observe all that so that it becomes a meditative exercise, becomes a meditative pose, and we are comfortable. And then eventually the mind and body will settle into the pose and you will go deeper. You might be able to go deeper into the pose as time passes because the body eventually will succumb to the gravity. So this is basically Padahastasana, and that Padahastasana is using the gravity to its maximum so that we are not exerting from our side. Okay, so when we allow the body to surrender to the gravity, right? What is happening is we are not putting any conscious effort towards the pose. And that takes away the part of the ego that says, I did it, I made this happen. So it is happening at the physical level. It is happening automatically because of the gravity is trying to pull you down. And then you become just a conscious observer from within. Okay. So that's the thing about yin yoga, restorative yoga. It's about just observation. Okay. So walk your hands up, try to shift back to normal position again, and come back to the wall. Tuck your tailbone in back again and relax. Lean against the wall still and get your body back to normal. Your blood flow that was going more on the upper part of the body is now getting normalized, and you step back out of the block and you come around. Okay, so that was wonderful. I think we all can do this. I think what I do is when after dinner, if you want to do any kind of yoga, I would say you do restorative kind of poses, okay? Because those poses are not really bothering. So, like for instance, I'm sitting in Vajrasan. So, let's sit in Vajrasan for some time. The way you sit in Vajrasan, if you look at my feet at the back, my toes are together, okay? And I'm going to sit on the heels, and then your heels are going to tend to go in that direction, so you can kind of wiggle yourself between the heels like this and just sit in Vajrasan. Okay, so let's sit in Vajrasan for some time like that. And now, while we are in this pose, we can do the prana karshan kriya. Now the prana karshan kriya is very simple. Keep your hands on the knees. Your spine is erect. Close your eyes. And as you breathe in, think that you're breathing from your Muladhara chakra. So your Muladhara chakra is in between your anus and the genital. There's a perineum there. That soft part, that perineum is considered to be the end of your spinal column, your end of your spine. And the Muladhara chakra is right there. And then you breathe in. As you breathe in, you start your journey. As you synchronize your movement, your attention should shift from the perineum. So from the Muladhara chakra, it comes to Swadhisthana chakra, 2 inches below your navel. Then at your navel, your Manipur chakras, from Swadhisthana, Manipur. Then you come to Anahat chakra. That's your heart chakra right here. And then you move up to your Vishuddhi chakra. And then you move up to your Agnya chakra right here. And you come to your Sahasrara chakra. So by the time your attention travels all the way here, your lung should be completely full. And then as you exhale, you start descending down all the way, all the way down back to the Muladhara chakra. Okay. So that is one half of the um, Pranakarshan Kriya. Okay. So let's practice that. Lips gently closed. Exhale fully. And breathe in. Travel along your spine. As you exhale, you start descending down along your spine from Sahasrara to Agnya Chakra to Vishuddhi Chakra to Anahat Chakra to Manipur Chakra, Swadhisthana Chakra, and then Muladhara Chakra. And then breathe in again. So let this be a conscious breathing. This is not normal breathing. Again, we are trying to regulate the breath. And the whole exercise we are doing because we are then distracted from the pain that you're getting from your Vajrasana. So a lot of people are not able to sit in Vajrasana comfortably. And the Vajrasana, the name Vajrasana comes from the Vajra Nadi. The Vajra Nadi, there are sheaths along this psychic energy system in the body. So there is this Sushumna Nadi, which is at the center of the spinal cord. And that Sushumna Nadi has sheaths around it. There are three sheaths. And so there's Vajra Nadi that is holding all of that as part of the sheath. Okay. And that is Chitrini Nadi and Vajra Nadi, Sushumna Nadi, and then the Ida and the Pingala. These all are in that core of your spine. So the Vajra Nadi is activated, they say, by sitting in Vajrasana. Okay. So as you sit here, there's something happening at the psychic level, at the energy level, at the physiological level. This improves your digestion. So after dinner, I recommend that you always sit like this. If you're watching TV, doesn't matter. The physiology will take care of itself, even though you're watching TV. Or if you don't want to watch TV, you can just do some meditation and sit in Vajrasana like this. This is a very, very beneficial asana. Okay. So again, we go back to exhale. Start the journey from your Muladhara Chakra as you inhale. Take a deep breath. Come to Sahasrara and start descending down. Don't hold your breath. We're not holding it. So what I'm doing is I'm doing the ocean breathing. So I'm constricting my epiglottis a little bit so that you can hear the breath coming in. There's friction in the throat. So that friction is making this kind of ocean sound like that. But when you keep your lips closed, it doesn't project itself out as much as it does when you have the mouth open. So keep your mouth closed and constrict the epiglottis and breathe in. You should be able to hear yourself breathing in. So this is the second layer of doing prana-karshan kriya that we just added. The first layer was just to focus your attention going up and down with your breathing. The second layer is we do conscious breathing by constricting the epiglottis, and you inhale, come up to the crown, and then you go down. As you breathe out, is control the breath. You're controlling it, slowly letting it go. One chakra at a time. You're going downward. Another benefit of doing this is it reduces your stress. It reduces your blood pressure. It normalizes your parasympathetic, sympathetic nervous system. It relaxes the parasympathetic nervous system, which is really important because we don't have control over the parasympathetic. And through yoga, through pranayama, what we are trying to do is we are trying slowly, slowly We're trying to take charge of the parasympathetic nervous system. Okay. So this is how the yogis then eventually at a very heightened stage of their yoga, they're able to even control their heart rate without doing anything. They can take charge of that parasympathetic nervous system and they can raise their heart rate as much as they want up to 300 and then drop it all the way down to zero without any effort from their side except with the internal control of the parasympathetic nervous system. So this is what yoga does. It is an inner engineering, as Sadhguru calls it. That inner engineering is what we're trying to do. We're trying to take control of the parasympathetic by interfering. And then the breath is sympathetic as well as parasympathetic. You see, the thing is, that's the only apparatus we have in the body that allows you to take control of it. And then when you leave it, it goes back to its own parasympathetic system. It is breathing on its own, the heart is beating on its own, but you have no control over that heart. You have no control over the digestive system and all the other operations in the guts. You have no control over any of that. Conscious control. Yoga tries to gain that. Okay? So that is happening at the subtler levels of your psyche. So I think we have sat here for enough. Now what we're going to do is we're going to get into Virasana. So open your legs up on the side, open the legs up on the side, and then sit in between. Now I know this is going to give a little bit more tension on your knees. So what you can do is you can take a block sideways like this and then insert it underneath and sit on it. This is a little deeper position than Vajrasana. It's you are going into another deep position. So just sit in Virasana. Make sure your knees are together. So you bring them together so that there is no gap here. Okay. So that's a Virasana. Okay. So again, we sit here like this comfortably. Your neck and spine erect, and we'll continue with our Pranakarshan Kriya. Pranakarshan Kriya. Why is it called Pranakarshan Kriya? The prana is the consciousness. And what this does by this conscious breathing up and down, deep breathing, it generates more prana in your body. That's what they say. Okay. So it akarshan means attracts more prana in the body. That's what it is. It heightens your awareness. It heightens your conscious awareness of your body as well as mind. And then we are here and now because we are trying to now manipulate the breath. So as you breathe in, you go up and exhale as you go down. Now I'm going to add the third layer to this thing. And what is the third layer? We're going to chant so and hum internally. So as you start breathing in, internally, you're going to say so. So you rise to the crown of your head. And then you exhale. Hum. But you're not making any noise. You're internally chanting that. Let's do it again. Wonderful. Okay. So that's Virasana. Now we're going to take both the blocks and we're going to go into Baddha Konasana. Okay. So what you want to do is sit on the block, and I'm going to show you first of all facing you, and then I'm going to turn 90 degrees and I'm going that direction. Okay. So the first of all, put your block, and if you like, if you cannot sit, if you want to put another block, that's also fine. Okay. So put the other block on the side for now and sit on the block and take your belt and open it up. So open the belt up as much as you can, all the way to the tip of the belt. And then pull it down so you get this nice loop. Okay? Now, when you do the loop, make sure the buckle is facing outward, not facing inward like this. So it's facing outward, and you wear it on like that on your body. And make sure everything is normal right there. Put the buckle to the tip outside like this, okay, facing the computer screen. And then you're going to take your both the feet and pull them towards you like this. Hold all your toes like this with both the hands and pull towards yourself. Okay. Once you do that, you take this and tuck it under and make sure that the buckle comes either to the left or the right side facing outward. And then now you take the tip of that buckle and you start pulling. Okay. You start pulling and then adjust the buckle. It goes down again and then you pull it again. Rotate the belt, keep the buckle at the lowest level as much as possible, and then pull. And then get your feet as close as possible. Okay. And then pull, pull, pull. Get it nice and tight. So what it is doing, it is pulling these feet towards you, and then put your hands on top of that. And you will start feeling that the tendons here, you know, at the upper side and the inner tendons inside that are holding your thigh to your pelvic bone, they're going to get stretched the moment you put your hands on it, because your hands are putting weight on the knees. And this is Baddha Konasana. Now, most of us are tending to round your back. So what you want to do is you hold your feet like this and pull yourself up, straight up. Straight up, so your back is absolutely straight. Now, those who cannot sit like this, you can raise yourself by another block, okay? And I'll tell you what it does, okay? So I'm going to get up a little bit and insert another block at the back and sit on it. There you go. And then what you can do is, there you go. If you want to sit at a higher elevation, that's fine. Just maintain your balance. It becomes a little bit of balancing technique here. And then you grab the belt and pull and rotate your hands outward like this. So you grab it from inside and rotate your hands. So the palms are facing to the computer or to the audience. And sit straight like that. Baddha Konasana. And we can continue our Pranakarshan Kriya here. There's absolutely no problem with that. So if you want to close your eyes and start your ocean breathing, deep belly breathing. And what belly breathing, as you know, what it does, it relaxes your parasympathetic nervous system. That is what's going to bring your blood pressure down, bring your heart rate down, bring your anxieties down, and all those negative emotions in the mind will subside. Deep belly breathing. Controlled breathe out, controlled breathe in. If you have issues with any kind of balance, you can keep your eyes open and fixate your eye to a point, and that will bring your balance back. So in the yogic system, there are four kind of fasting that are predominantly advocated. And what we are doing right now is one of the fasting out of the four. And what is that fasting? That fasting is doing conscious breathing, belly breathing. And that fasting is not allowing the breath to go normal. So normally a human being breathes about 13 to 15 times in a minute. If you do this deep belly breathing, you're fasting your body from breathing 13 to 15 times. You reduce your breath rate. Okay? When you reduce your breath rate, everything in your body starts settling down. You know, your anxious, chattering mind will slow down, your thought processes will slow down, your heart rate is slow down at physiological level. And you fast your body with the number of breaths, but you increase the number of percentage of oxygen in your body. That's what's happening. So you're not fasting your body of the oxygen, of the prana that it is going to generate. That's why the oxygen is called the prana vayu, because that prana vayu is directly related with the amount of awareness and consciousness that you have. Okay, if you're lack of oxygen, you'll start fainting. Okay, but if you have all the oxygen that you need in the bloodstream, you're aware, your vitality is at the highest peak, your awareness is heightened, your perception is heightened of whatever you're seeing outside. So there are direct benefits to all of this. So in the middle of the office, if you feel stressed, just do this belly breathing and you'll be fine. Okay, you'll immediately relax, your attention will be more focused, and you will get a lot more done in a more efficient way. Okay, so the pran akarshan kriya has all these benefits, and you can do this anytime sitting on your office chair. um, Sometimes even I do it while I'm driving. Why not? Because you're just there sitting there for doing nothing. You're going to office for 40 minutes, might as well do something. So anyway, so this is the Baddha Konasana. Okay, now I'm going to turn 90 degrees. I'm going to take one block out of there. Okay, so bear with me for a minute. And I'm going to put this block on the side and I'm going to turn this way. And I'm going to turn the block. So I'm sitting still on the block with both my sits bones on the block. And then you take this other block and put it somewhere here. And then you're going to go down. So make sure you have enough room on the block. Then you go Raise your feet, it's okay. Go down and get that block in the center of your back, in the mid back. And then you go down completely and let your feet relax. So, what's going to happen eventually? The feet are going to touch the ground. Right now, it is elevated a little bit, but that's okay. And make sure the block is there. And then the gravity is going to pull both of your thighs downward and just relax here. So the block under my back is keeping my back in a curvature like this. And then my head is resting on the ground and I'm going to look back to the wall. Supta Baddha Konasana. And the belt is going to hold the feet together. And relax. Now, in this position, instead of doing the Pranakarshan Kriya, we're going to do a little bit of Kapalabhati. So the Kapalabhati is brisk breathing. And that brisk breathing is going to happen at the upper lungs. So we're not doing abdominal Kapalabhati. The last time we did the thoracic Kapalabhati, that's what we're going to do. Exhale fully. And breathe in half the lungs and start doing Kapalabhati with using your lungs. Stop. Take a deep breath and let it go gently. Let's do one more round. Exhale fully. Inhale half the lungs and begin. Stop. Take a deep breath. To come out of it, hold your buckle if you can and see if you can loosen it. And take your feet out, straighten them, straighten your feet, and roll to your left or right side, whichever you feel comfortable. So you're off the blocks, and then you sit down again. Okay, so that was nice. I think that was wonderful. Take your block again, take the belt out, sit on the block, and tuck your left heel into your perineum. And you can easily do that because your body is elevated. So tuck it into your perineum like this. The heel is pressing against the soft part between your genitals and the anus, and then you sit on it, literally. So you roll your buttocks a little bit forward so that you can literally almost sit on your heel. Now take your belt. There you go. And then put it on your foot like this, and tighten the belt to wherever you feel comfortable, and grab it with your hand, grab it with the other hand, and move the belt to the ball of your foot. Instead of the arch of your foot, move it to the ball of your foot. And then, as though you're holding the reins of the horse, you pull the reins so that the horse is doing this. Okay? Pull that. Make sure this leg is outward, is facing in that direction. So spread your leg as much as possible, like this. And spread this leg outward. Turn your body to that leg and hold it and look up. So what looking up does, it keeps your back straight. Ek pad, Paschim Uttanasan. Paschim Uttanasan. What does that mean? Paschim Uttanasan. That means the back of your body is called the Paschim. The west, the front of the body is called the Purva, is the east. So this is not Purvottanasana, this is Paschimottanasana. So ideally, what we are doing is we are bending forward so that the back is facing the sky. So Paschim Uttanasana. Okay, so that's what we're trying to do. But we are using the belt right now. So what we are trying, we're getting extension in the back, extension in the hamstrings, right here. So you hold, 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 and keep pulling yourself. And the way to do that is you tighten your belt even further and hold it right there. And with your both hands, and then look up. So now you'll realize that your back is starting to bend forward a little bit. You're bending from your hip bones, not from your waist, from the hip bone. So you're hinging over there, and you look up. Now, take your right hand and put it from the under. Take your left hand, put it from the under. So your hands are rotated outward this way. Now you can still do your deep belly breathing right here. And your gaze should be open focus gazing. What is open focus gazing? That's a term that Aurobindo in the Pondicherry ashram, the Aurobindo ashram, Aurobindo invented this term of open focus. That means, in the layman's term, I can say it's kind of something like daydreaming. You know, daydreaming is like you're really looking at something, but you're really not looking at something, right? You're basically just looking out there, but your mind is doing something totally different, right? Your mind is like either in the past or in the future, and we call it the daydreaming because your eyes are wide open, but they're not registering anything inside. The recorder inside you has stopped, basically. But the light is coming in, it is falling on the retina, but you're not registering anything. The film is not recording anything because your mind has no attention in the moment. Now, here's the difference between the daydreaming and open focus. Now, what we're asking the mind to do is to be here and now without recording anything. That's the tricky part. So as you're gazing, you're just staring. Now I'm looking at this tree outside. Okay. Now the word tree is not that object out there. That's a fact, right? We all know that. We call it a tree because we call it a tree. The humans call it a tree. The tree doesn't call itself a tree. The dog in my backyard doesn't call it a tree. So the tree word is not the object itself. What we are seeing is what we are seeing, and that is what is, as Krishnamurti says. So with the open focus, just look at what is, and that what is the open focus. Paying attention to in the moment now, here and now, to the what is without labeling anything, without any prejudices in the mind, without labeling anything. You just look. Just look out there. The same looking that we do in the Ashwa Sanchalan. You just look. If the tree has green leaves, you don't call it green. If the branch is green or brown, you don't call it brown. So essentially, we are making the empty mind. Is the empty mind looking without any labeling, without any interference of the mind? You just look. And with the hands, see if you want to go deeper in the position and then hold with the two fingers. Hold the big toe and keep looking out there. And that open focus is distracting from the mind. It is not allowing the mind to have any kind of reactionary behavior. And you are just in the moment, here and now. Just look like the camera looks without registering. And let it go and come back. And then take your belt out of the foot. And then we're going to take the right leg. Now here the block is very essential part of your prop because it's as essential as your block, your belt. So tuck your heel, the right heel now into the perineum. Your left foot is out there, okay? Your chest is in line with this part of the leg while this leg is going in that direction, okay? Now, take this belt and put it on the ball of your foot. So loosen the belt a little bit. I'm sorry, I did the opposite. Loosen it. Make the loop a little bit bigger and get it over. And get it on the ball, on the top part of your, not on your toes, but on the ball. And then rotate your hands outward like this. Rotate the other hand outward like this and sit erect. And get your feet out there, get your heel into the perineum nice and firm. And make sure what's going to happen is your foot is going to start doing this. So to keep it from turning, exert more pressure on your left side so it will straighten out. Okay, there you go. And then look up. You may want to close your eyes or just keep staring at something without registering, without labeling, and do your deep breathing at the same time. And cinch yourself a little deeper inside. So make your loop a little bit narrower and put your hands from outward, like we said, and bend forward from the hip bones. Bend forward without arching your back. And we're still working on the hamstrings, guys. And relax. Rest of the body should relax. No stress. Relax. Take a deep breath. Belly breathing. Take a deep breath. And let it go with the Ujjayi. Ujjayi is the ocean breathing. And see with your left hand if you can grab the toe. And let go of your belt. And come back. So now we're going to get into another position called Kapotasana. So that one you will need your mat. And this is relatively easy, but it can be challenging if you do it really correct. What you want to do is you take your left foot back, put your right foot up as you can, and then grab your right foot and turn it 90 degrees. Okay? When you turn it 90 degrees, put your elbow down and with your two fingers, grab the toe, the big toe, and move it up so that your shin and your forearm are almost perpendicular. Take your block and slide it under your thigh. So you support it. And then you relax. And then put your another elbow down and stay here. Kapotasana. Kapot means pigeon. This is called the pigeon pose. Continue with your deep breathing. You can close your eyes here and relax. Now, open your elbow up. Open the second elbow up. Let go of your big toe and then relax. Now, what's going to happen is this leg is going to move inward. And it's okay if you want to move it inward a little bit to see if you want to touch your forehead to the ground, and touch your forehead to the ground. And now, the block that you have under the thigh, take it out. You can also take your hands up and completely relax here. Now put your hands on the side and come up and look up. Now, those who can, you may want to fold your back leg. Okay? Fold it, and with your left hand, grab the ankle and see if you can touch your heel to your butt and balance with one hand in the front and relax at the back. So you'll see that your quads are getting stretched. And let it go. And look up. And release your leg and come to Adho Mukha Svanasana. And stretch those legs out. Now, take your right to your left leg and put it out there. And we do the exact opposite now. Your back leg, you want to stretch it in that direction. So stretch it as much as you can, uncurl your toes, and then with your left two fingers, grab the big toe on the left side. Take your block and tuck it, wedge it in here like this, wedge it in. So you get a nice support there. And then relax. And then take your other arm, and so that both your forearms and the left shin are more or less parallel to each other. And relax. Keep holding on to your big toe. Don't let it go because your foot wants to now fold in. And we're not letting it do that by holding it with your big toe, with the two fingers. Hold that big toe. And let go of your big toe. Open your arms. Open it. Take the block out. And see if you can touch your forehead to the ground. This is a very relaxing pose. You should feel comfortable here. So what this pose is doing, it's stretching your butts, your glutes, all of this side of the body is getting stretched. It's a hip opener as well. It opens up your hips. You need empty stomach to be able to do this. Cannot do this after dinner. Now, come up and look up. You can also put your hand on your knee and on your left foot and rise above like that. Gives you a deeper stretch at the front of your torso. Your back bends a little bit backward, even more. And then put your left hand out and then fold your right leg and grab it and pull it towards you so that the heel touches the butt. Pull. And let it go. Wonderful. So, nice. And then relax and come back to Adho Mukha Svanasana. We'll be in this pose for a little while. Don't worry, we're not going to be here for 4 minutes. So let's get your feet out. You can even grab your mat with your fist on both sides and try to stretch the mat out with your hands. See if we can tear it out. And put your both the heels to the ground. And see if you can take your block like this and rest your head on it. See if you can rest your forehead on the block. Eventually, your forehead is going to touch the ground in this position, or your head needs to touch the ground, or the crown of your head needs to touch the ground. And relax. Put both of your knees on the mat and touch both of your toes at the back and come to take both the blocks like this and come to Balasana. Walk the blocks out. Walk them out. So if you're here, walk them outward as far as you can. And then put your forehead on the mat. See if you can walk the block even further out. So what we're doing is we are getting some extension in the back right here. And you may hear your back click. You get this nice concave catenary arch in your back. This is a hip opener. It is an extension of your back. And it leads towards the Mandukasana, the frog pose. Slowly, slowly, slowly. Your hips will widen up so much that you almost lie flat on the ground like a frog. Your belly will start touching the block, to the mat. And stretch. Stretch upward. Stretch your hands out. Keep pushing your block outward. And stay there. Okay, and relax. Bring the block back. I think this should be good. We'll do a quick pranayam and then we'll end the session. So sit on your block. There you go. And those who don't have a block, I would suggest that you take a blanket or something, or roll up your mat, like as you store it away, you roll the mat. You can sit on that roll as well. That gives you the same cushioning, and it elevates your body higher on the higher ground a little bit. But those who have the block or don't have a block and want to buy a block, I would suggest you get this 3-inch narrow blocks. Okay, don't get one of those taller blocks because they're useless. They're too much. They don't really help you. Okay, so again, tuck your left knee, left heel into the perineum, and then put your right foot as close to your belly with your heel kind of tucking in here, and then put it down. Okay, sit erect. Take your glasses off if you want to. Sit in Chin Mudra. Eyes gently closed. And today we'll do some alternate nostril breathing, nadi shodan. So get your Vishnu Mudra going. So fold your two fingers and you are in this position like this. Okay. This is yet another technique to sort of win over or cross over into the parasympathetic nervous system, you know, than your just sympathetic nervous system. Okay. So what this does, it crosses the channels in your body so that, remember those two nadis we talked about, the Ida and the Pingla. Ida is the moon, Pingla is the sun. So if you divide your body half, your left side is moon, the right side is sun. So you know the term Hatha Yoga? Hatha Yoga, and sometimes people think that it's hut. Hut means being adamant, you know. That's not what it means. So Ha is the moon side of your body. Tha is, I mean, sorry, yeah, yes. Am I saying this correct? Ha, tha. No, the tha is the moon side of the body. That means this. And ha is the heaty side of the body, which is the right side. So what we are trying to do is we are bringing these, both these channels of your body into some kind of balance. And when they are in balance, that gives rise to your Sushumna Nadi. So that Sushumna Nadi is traveling from your Muladhara chakra all the way down there, and it is connecting directly to your Sahasrara on the crown of your head. So your Sahasrara and your Muladhara are directly connected. There's a hardwired, you know what I mean? In the electrical language, as they call it. You hardwire these two connections. So you hardwire from the base of your spine to the crown of your head, and the energy in the body is constantly oscillating from Muladhara to your Sahasrara, Sahasrara to Muladhara. Okay, and that this is all yogic system, yogic language. It may be alien language to some of you, but if you study the texts, you will read all of this. I've got a few books here I can recommend that you want to read. The one that I really like is called The Serpent Power. And why is it called the Serpent Power? Because at the base of your Muladhara chakra, they say the Kundalini. Kundalini is a serpent. It has this, you know how the serpent sits, like coiled up like that? That power is coiled up at the Muladhara chakra. And the entire system of yoga is consciously or subconsciously is trying to uncoil this serpent. It is coiled up like this, you want to uncoil it. When it uncoils, it has no space laterally to move, so the only way it can go is upward. And it rises through your Sushumna Nadi along the spine, and it activates all the chakras along the way, and then it comes to the Sahasrara chakra. Now, this is all a lot of theory of yoga that you can learn and read about. I'm not saying anything new. This has been taught for thousands of years in our culture back in India. But what we are doing right now is we are trying to balance the Sushumna, the Ida and the Pingala nadis. When that balance happens, the uncoiling of the serpent automatically happens, as they say it. Okay, so it may or may not happen for us in our whole lifetime. It all depends on how much blockages we have along the spine. Those blockages are the ones that we are trying to eliminate through meditation and pranayam. That's what this does. And the body is prepared to handle that current, to handle that upward movement. That's why we do all these yogasanas. So this is the theory behind all of this. Okay. So anyway, let's close your eyes, get into Vishnu Mudra, and we're going to do alternate nostril breathing. Okay. So here we go. So close your left, breathe in through your right. Deep. Fill your lungs all the way till here. Close your right and let it go from the left side. So as you release your breath, constrict your epiglottis so that you hear yourself leaking air. Now breathe in through the left. Close the left. Exhale through the right. Breathe in through the right. Close the right. Exhale through the left. Left in. Right out. Right in. Left out. Left in. Right out. Right in. Left out. Slowly, you can increase this up to 108 rounds. So what is one round? You take in left, exhale right, take in right, exhale left. That is one round. So if you can sit here, if you have the patience to do 108 such rounds, you can reverse count it from 108 down to 1. If you are able to do that, you will start noticing some subtle differences in your psyche, some subtle differences in your behavioral patterns, some subtle differences in your awareness, some subtle differences in your intuition. Your intuition is going to go um, a little more active than your sixth sense is going to rise. So there are all these benefits of your blood pressure is going to be normalized. Anytime you are feeling anxious about something, do this alternate nostril breathing and your anxiety will go down. If you are feeling angry and you have all these negative emotions towards someone or about yourself, or for whatever reason you made a mistake and you're like, oh my God, and then you go into this loop. You know that loop thinking that we know. You just constantly loop it, and you just keep on churning the same old thoughts, and you get more and more upset. Try this, and you will see that your mind has calmed down, your heart rate has gone down, and even here, as you see, your heart rate will go down to 60, sometimes even to 50. It will go down. Okay, so these are all the direct benefits, guys. I mean, there is really no I don't see any negative in doing this, what we're doing. With that, I think we should close out today's session, and let's bring your hands to the heart center. Close your eyes, neck and spine erect, sit comfortably. Take a deep breath, and we're going to say Omkar 3 times. Take a deep breath. Yogena chittasya padena vacham malam sharirasya chavaidikena yopakarotam pravaram muninam patanjalim pranjaliranatosmi abahu purushakaram shankha chakra siddharinam sahasrara shirasam shvetam pranamami patanjalim hari om. Rub your palms. And look deep inside the Chidakash, the subconscious mind, subconscious space.
Thanks, Amit.
Thank you. Thanks for taking the time on Sunday morning.
Thanks.
And you're welcome.
Thank you, Amit ji.
Thank you. Thank you. Welcome, all of you.
Thank you so much. Amit.
Thank you, Amit.
Amit, thank you.
Namaste. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Amit ji.
Yeah.
Wonderful session.
Yeah. Thank you.